Hello everyone, my name is Andrew and thank you so much for checking out today's video. So today it's just gonna be my monthly wrap up of July. So I ended up reading 11 books this month, which isn't bad. It's pretty good, I think, considering how much I've been reading now compared to earlier this year. So I'm actually really happy with that number. I'ma just say I've been slacking in reading this past couple weeks. Not a couple weeks, just this past week. I've been really busy with work and it's draining me a lot because it's back to school season and I work in retail. And that's not good for my soul. I'm just gonna go over the books I've read. So I'm just gonna go through chronologically from when I started reading this month to what I'm reading now. Not now, but the last book I read. So the first book I ended up reading this month was a fantasy romance that I was pleasantly surprised that I did enjoy. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, but I'm glad I did read it because it's such a interesting, dark, and just really entertaining ride of a book. And that's Guild by Raven Kennedy. I really enjoyed this book. I was pleasantly surprised, like I said. It's a King Midas retelling. So Orange is King Midas' prized concubine, essentially, meaning she's that girl. He turns her into gold. Like, she's gold skin, gold hair, everything about her is golden. So there's 6 kingdoms in the world, and there's a situation going on where a potential war might be happening. So what King Midas does, I can't say it without spoiling it. He does some crazy stuff. Overall, this book is really entertaining, but it is dark. Like, there was a lot of dark aspects in this book that I didn't really expect. I didn't think anything bad of it. Like, it didn't affect me like in a triggering way, but I can see how this can be triggering to some people. If you're interested in reading this, I would highly encourage looking up the trigger warnings for this book and just this series overall. I really like this, guys. I don't know why. I'm so fucked up in the head, I guess. I really did enjoy it. I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. It's really, really entertaining. The way the book ends, it makes you wanna continue with the story, and I'm gonna pick out the second book maybe today after I record this video because I'm going to Barnes & Noble later. 4 stars, really fun, really entertaining. The romance aspect, I would say, takes a backseat. Even though it's considered a fantasy romance, it's more fantasy than romance, I would say, but still fun. A fun book. When I'm saying fun, I mean entertaining, by the way, because like nothing in this book is necessarily fun for any of the characters, but you know, it's fun to read. The book is good. That's all I'm gonna say. The next one I read was Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. The next 5 books, I think 4 books, I read at my 24-hour readathon that I did this past month, which I'm gonna be doing those like once a month, I think, now, because it really helps me knock down a lot of books. But this book was fun. So this book follows, I don't remember characters' names anymore. I'm really bad at names now. So Max is a professional rating crasher. Essentially, like, it's not his main job, it's a side job. Like, there might be a certain situation, like one of the partners is cheating, so the person pays Max to break up the wedding, and that's what he does for Sophie. This is Sophie. That's what he does for Sophie because I believe it was her best friend who paid him to break up the wedding because Sophie found out that her fiancé at the time was cheating. He breaks up the wedding. They don't talk to each other for a couple months, and then he links up with her again to try to make her a wedding crasher for a wedding that he wants to go to. That he's hired for, I should say. And so the romance ensues from there. I had fun with this book. It's really entertaining, but it's not my favorite Lynn Painter read. I would say my favorite is still Better Than the Movies out of the 3 books I read by her. But I still really liked her writing. Her writing's really fun and witty, especially the banter between the characters. I think that's what really is a selling point for Lynn Painter books. But the romance itself didn't stand out to me, you know? I wasn't like,
oh my god, they're like totally meant to be.
I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, you guys are spending a lot of time together and you guys are apparently attractive, so that makes sense why you guys are falling for each other. And it's more like that, like more like physical, I should say, than like romantic interests, especially at the beginning of their relationship, because they were just talking about how much they wanted each other at first, which is fine, you know, but I don't really consider that romantic. But this book is still like a fun time, really enjoyable. I gave this one 3.5 stars. So it's still like an entertaining book. Like, I didn't have a bad time with it, I just didn't love it. So I still really liked it though. Around average, but slightly better. So that's why I gave it a 3.5. So the next book I read was When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Now this is my first Sarah Adams book I've ever read. And boy, am I glad that I did. I really like this book. It follows Amelia and Noah. Amelia is a pop star who wants to get away from the pop star life for a week. So she goes on vacation in Rome, Kentucky, and her car ends up breaking down, basically stranded for like a little bit because Noah comes and saves her, essentially. It's a small town romance, Grumpy Sunshine. Really fun, really cute. I really like the characters in this book. I think the characters were such a standout for me personally. The book overall is just really entertaining. I really enjoyed this. Such a fun time, really cute. I give this one 4 stars. Really cute, really fun, and just an overall great time. I also have Practice Makes Perfect. It's under my TBR for this month. So I don't know when I'm gonna read it. I might just pick it up regardless because I really want to go back to these characters and see what they're like now. Yeah, so that's it for this book. 4 stars. Sorry guys, my back is like aching right now because I've had a long day at work. But anyways, the next book that I read was The Bump by Sydney Carger. So this is my second Sydney Carger book I've ever read. But he only has 2 books out, so I'm kind of like up to date with him. So this book follows a gay couple who are essentially having a road trip from New York to California because their future baby is being born through surrogacy. And this road trip is essentially just like a last hurrah for them before their baby comes and like changes up their lives. Their couple has been going through some rocky times with a lot of miscommunication. Biz is such a good guy. He is such a great character and just overall a better human being than Wyatt ever was. Wyatt is an asshole and I do not like him. But I understand both the characters. I understand them both. And that's why I gave this one 4.25 stars. I was going to give it like 4.5 stars. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, the more I didn't love. I still thought the book was great though. The book was really entertaining, fast-paced, funny, and a lot of heartfelt moments in this book. I really like Sydney Carger's writing because I don't know, I think I said this before, but he used to be a screenwriter before he was an author. So he really does paint a picture with his words, you know? Like I can visualize every scene that he writes and I really like that. I feel like it's harder for me to actually visualize what the author is saying. The way he does it is very good. Really, yeah, I just really like this book, guys. It's really fun. Did I say the rating? 4.25 if I didn't. The book I read after that was Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. It was fine. I think this one was the lowest rated out of all the books I read, but it's so entertaining. I enjoyed it for what it was, but for me at least, like I get it, it's a cozy fantasy. It's not supposed to be high stakes like at all, but it got repetitive. I didn't even explain what this book is about. Regardless, I'm pretty sure everyone in the mama knows what this book is about, but if you don't, it follows Vivian, who used to be this awesome kick-ass warrior, but she gives it all up to run a coffee shop in this small town, and it's basically just that, you know? There's not a lot of tension. There's supposed to be a romance in here, but the romance is very minimal. Like, that takes a very far backseat. I still liked it, but I did not like it too much. I like it for what it was, but also what it wasn't my favorite, if that makes sense. I don't think it does. It's fine. It's just fine. 3 stars. The next book I read was The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This was also my first Lauren Asher book that I've read. I read this book really quickly. This one's really fun, really entertaining. This one actually is fun. I really like this one, guys. I thought this one was a blast and a joy to read. I gave this one 4 stars. If you don't know what this one is about, this book follows Rowan and Sasha. Sasha works for this company called Dreamland, which is essentially Disneyland. Rowan is the original owner's grandson, so he is a big boss over Dreamland. Rowan's grandfather dies. In order for Rowan to get his inheritance, he has to help Dreamland become a better company. Like, he has to fix issues within the park itself. He has to figure that out in order for him to get his money. So he thinks like he has to create this big, amazing ride to help Dreamland. So what he does He sets out this recruitment for everyone in the company to send out an idea on how to fix it. Sasha does it. She gets in and she has to work directly under him. But she does not like this man at all. Yeah, that's essentially what this is about. It's a romance between them two. I really liked it. Like, come on, it's fun. It's a really fun time. Don't expect like the most groundbreaking writing, but the writing is still like really good and entertaining in this book. I had a really fun time with it. Yeah, so 4 stars for this one. What a fun time this one was. I can't wait to read the second one. I have it on my Kindle right now, but I want the physical book to obviously complement this one. I am thinking about getting another copy though, because I tried taking the sticker off and I think I damaged my book just a bit. So I might buy another one of this one. Not right now, not anytime soon. But I am probably going to buy the second book today. The next 3 books are part of a series that I just read for the first time ever. I'm pretty sure you guys know what series that was. Obviously, it was one of my last videos. The first book in that video was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I really like this one. I would say even love it. Yes, this series is just something else. It captured my heart in a way I haven't felt about a book in a very long time. I gave this one 5 stars. This one specifically. Yes, 5 stars for this one. Oh my god. The feelings that I got from the characters' banter between each other, between Kai and Peyton, the 2 main characters. Oh my god, I haven't felt that in so long. The nostalgia that I got because it reminded me of when I was like younger, reading Hunger Games for the first time, or even Divergent. That's what this book brought out in me, like those feelings that I got from reading that book. And I think that's why I love this series so much, because no other series has been able to capture that, to be honest, for me at least. Like, granted, I love the books I'm reading now, but just the feelings of this series in general, all the emotions that I feel with this series, it's crazy. So this, I didn't even say what the series is about, but this is a fantasy romance. Follows Kai and Peyton. Kai is this essentially the enforcer for the king. He is a powerful guy, essentially. And by powerful, I mean he can wield everyone else's abilities, because they have abilities in this book. Except Peyton doesn't. She's what it's called an ordinary, meaning she has no powers. I understand the comparisons between this book and Hunger Games, but they're different. I wouldn't call them like the same, like at all, because the Hunger Games has a lot more meaning politically wise, but this book is more about the romance and not the political world. Yeah, the romance is the main focus in this series. That's why I really liked it. The romance is so good in this series. Like, it's really good. It's kind of crazy how good it is, but I love it. Yeah, this book was 5 stars. And then I read Powerful, which is the novella that takes place at the same time as the first book, but it follows Peyton's best friend, Adina. And this book broke my heart. Like, when I tell you I cried, I mean I freaking cried. I don't cry to themes. Not often, unless it's a Pixar movie. That's the only time I ever cry. And this book made me cry a lot more than I thought it was, because this book is so damn emotional. Oh my god. When it's like through this perspective of this character, Adina, and Mac, I believe, who is the love interest in this one. Oh my god. Like, I'm trying not to think about it because then it's gonna make me sad, and I don't want to be sad right now. I want to be happy because I love talking about books. Oh my god. And the romance in this one is really good too. This woman, Lauren Roberts, what have you done to my mind, and why is it all about your books now? Riddle me that. This book was great. I gave this one 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't give this one 5 stars because obviously it's a novella, so it's gonna be shorter. It's so quick paced, like everything happens. It goes from one day to a couple weeks later, and all that. But it's still really good. A really good time. Had fun with this one. And then Reckless, which just came out this past month. Oh my god. Listen, this one is not as fast paced as the first one. I'll give it that. I understand the criticism with that. I also understand the criticism saying that this is a bridge book, essentially. Like, it's just a way to just get from point A to point B. I feel like this one is more of a character study. It's so really good. The banter between Kai and Peyton, the characters, everything was so good. Obviously, I can't say what happens without spoiling the whole freaking series. Kai and Peyton take a more center focus than ever before. Like, it's essentially just about them and the situations that they're in, because of things that happened in the first book. I still loved it. I really like this one, guys. I give this one 4.5 as well. The more I think about it, the more I want to give it 5 stars. I low-key want to give it 5 stars. I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I can get the whole series out of my mind. It's a 5-star series for me, guys. This series is great. I really enjoy it. It's just a fun time. 5 stars. The next book I read is not a fantasy series or in any passive video, I should say. It's just one that I was reading in between videos and one that I really enjoyed. And that is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Yes, I finally read it. And yes, it was great. I really liked this one. I ain't gonna lie. Baby, bye, bye, bye. This book was fun. Really cute. Really entertaining. This book follows... What's her name? I can't remember any character's names that's not Kai and Peyton because those are so memorable. This book follows Alexis Montgomery, who is an ER doctor who has her car breakdown in this small town. It's a small town in, I believe, Georgia. I could be totally wrong though. I honestly don't know. She runs into Daniel Grant, who essentially is helping her fix the car and any issues that she might have. It's their love story. That's it. Pretty much. There's obviously deeper meanings to this book. It's a really good book. I had such a good time with this one. Daniel Grant is not a doctor. In fact, he's a carpenter. He's also the mayor of the small town that they're in. And he also runs a little bed and breakfast because, you know, that's how he makes majority of his money whenever it's summertime, and that's how they get the money, you know. But Alexis is trying so hard not to fall for him. Essentially, they start off as friends with benefits, but obviously feelings get involved and she doesn't want to get hurt. She doesn't want to hurt him. Yeah, a lot happens from there. Without spoiling too much. That's essentially how it starts and that's how it progresses. And I had a fun time with it. It's such a good book. I didn't like it as much as I like Part of Your World, which is the second book in the series. I didn't realize that it was a series so I would have read it in order if I knew that. You can understand it without reading them in order, essentially. I gave this one 4 stars. Yeah, I love this woman. She writes so good. And finally, the last book I read in the month of July was Happy Place by Emily Henry. I really liked this book. I ain't gonna lie. But I did not connect with it in the same way I did with Beach Read. I like the characters. I like the setting. I understand what the characters are going through. This book itself didn't connect with me. Like, I still enjoyed it for what it was. I still thought it was beautifully written and the characters are really well written as well. It just wasn't clicking with me. At least not fully. I think I probably wasn't in the right headspace to read this book because this one is a little bit deeper than I was expecting as well. Emily Henry's writing is really good. This one, it's elevated. I just personally didn't connect with it or relate to it as much as I did with Beach Read. I still enjoyed it though. So if you don't know what this book is about, it follows Harriet and Wynn. They used to be engaged. They are no longer not. They are not anymore. So it is a second chance romance. I understand why they broke up in the first place. It makes sense. I understood why they broke things off. I understand why they want to reconnect. It follows them two, the main characters. You know, this is their love story. It's also about their friend group. So it's about her happy place in Knott's Harbor, Maine. Her and her college friends always go every year. Essentially, this might be the last year they can do everything together. Harriet and Wynn decide to fake date and just essentially pretend they're still engaged, still a happy couple, because Sabrina is one of the characters, one of Harriet's friends. Her father is selling the property, so this would be the last time they can essentially be in their happy place. So that's why they decided to stay friends, at least until the end of the week, and then they can let their friends know that they broke things off. They try to fake date. Things fall apart at the end because, you know, that's how lies usually happen. I give this one 4 stars. Entertaining, fun, just not... I don't think it's meant for me. But I think I do want to reread it when I'm in a clear headspace, when I'm not distracted by work, because I still liked it. I think it's entertaining, but honestly, when I was reading it, I wanted to do something else. So, and that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you are new to the channel. I would love to have you guys here. Let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you read any of these books, What were your thoughts on it? I would love to read it. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. That's it, you guys. Bye.